Was at the back. There was the back we just saw from the multi there. Blast is a good opportunity to actually shut it down as he's going on a bit of a hunt right here, looking to find the multi and shut it down. But first of all, checking if there's any other players around him. His leader goes down by Alamau. Benji will also find a kill. Suddenly it's only up to the two of them.
Well, how do they try and pull this one back? There's even worse situation. Blaz stuck around the security side. Does get the kill onto Pipes, but now he's angling towards the Monty inside kitchen. We heard the pop of a shot there. And there, they're angling around. They want the fight. They know exactly where the player is. They want to put the pressure on. Oh, somehow gets the kill onto Alamau. And G2, they're throwing themselves in. The shotgun secondary cannot get it. Uno. It was a little bit of a moment there.
Uno had to run to save his teammate there.
Operator. And there is obviously the player, the E1D. There's a blitz right behind you. They're going to drop to the pistol and spray through the soft, but they're able to somehow get it. Astro swings and drops Alamau, screams up the service stairs. There's a player just behind him he's not aware of, but now that'll feed Uno's location towards the tucked warden of Blaz behind the shield. They're about to have a Doki on round, but again, heroic. They're just standing stoic. Another swing, 20 seconds. Look through the blind, goes for the fight against the Iana on the back end. Doom is the cover against Doki, top spiral, and they just hold them off.
I mean, that top four is just so tough to get into because
a bit of safety.
Also, the player moving out at the moment that the grenade was being loosened there, so I think that would have worked out, but plan's already happening. It is going to be in a very tight corner out there, and as Alamau does find Doom, the plan has gone down. 45 seconds will be counting down, and they need to go for a retake now, and they're looking vertically to see where they have planted, but it seems like they've missed it as leader gets taken down as well.
Rotten timing there for leader. Started the sprint to get a shifty on, but already removed. Blaz, he's still above, but now he's just watching for holes, trying to find where the holes in his defense were pulled apart. Obviously, they had man disadvantage. A very scrappy fight that Doki wins out, and a flawless response from G2 as we trade rounds back and forth. You can juggle and you can see if people are walking into them from any distance. The kit has to be recollected. Oh, and there's Doki recollecting the trade. Now, in the game that we had yesterday, you find it trickier to get yourself locked in, moving slowly through Boiler. Back down towards the site itself. Kayak does get one, but unfortunately, leader does not get his way back into the site. Kayak, he's holding on here. As the plant goes down on the back end, it is revealed. Cannot win the fight out onto Virtue, though. That is G2. 2 for 2 down on the garage site, but you assume next up is CEO, where they couldn't even really get anything close.
He was still out here waiting patiently, not trying to go through with the initial plan of going for that push. He feels it's safe now, going in for the repellent, instantly needs to move and go for that plant, and his carrot gets taken down.
Underneath.
It's going to be a 4-on-2, but underneath, indeed, his blaster gets taken down, but Uno still alive, can rotate for a new spot to try and plant into.
Oh, lost the fight to Doki, went hunting for the Solus. I mean, it's a lot of soft. You can sort of play against those sort of little nipped plants. As I said, it's often done tucked into the side of CEO, where you have
three G2 players. Has to run through, takes again a little bit of damage, trying to rotate all the way through towards the little A window. Could be hoping to go for a jump out here, or gets pre-fired. A double kill, Benji with a grenade, and Virtue with one as well. It's really putting up G2 well for well, the last 2 minutes of this. Might have heard something. He's waiting on the doorway, looking to see it, and I don't think G2 is aware of the fact that he's above that hatch, holding tight as he finds Uno. Now they definitely do know. Gets a second though for his trebles. Doki taken down, and we find ourselves in a 2-on-2 situation again with 40 seconds left on the clock. G2 now trying to figure out which player they're going for first before trying to reattempt the take.
Oh, Virtue dropped the camera, dropped leader, and now with 30 seconds, a 2 versus 1. There is the possibility Astro can pull this round, but he's just been revealed as well. Takes the fight though. Astro is happy for it. One more for Astro!
Almost single-handedly saves the round there for Heroic. 4 kills.
Talked about before, Doom delicately wanting this fight on the swing. The smokes are going to come through, and Alamau's actually going to move off as Virtue gets Astro. There's the fight swung right round. Doom wins out. A quick break against it. Leader's looking to try and get the kit down as Virtue gets clipped by Doom, who's really started to roll across this attack. It's a 1 versus 1 for Doki, though. And it came down to the wire, but it's not the first round 2. Leader making the motion, covered the smoke and going for the plant just inside that little hopped cubby around the closet. As it's called on the far end, it's a post-plant situation. Just on the line of that closet and towards the expo side of the site museum. They're going for the C4s. Too little, too late at this point. Whoa, that's a hell of a take. Benja gets one, but there's a drop right back round. Doom tucked on the corner. Swings up towards Virtue. It's a scrappy fight, but it's his to win out as Blaz gets one of his own. And now, once again, this site with a bit of focus on the sort of verticality, forcing those players to get out the way, has allowed both attacking teams to just do this, sneak a plant on this situation.
They even had a little hole out there. Now, June does get taken down. A lot of damage done to Uno right in return of it. There's no time, however, so round is going to be headed towards Heroic. And as I said, yes, the top 4 control is very important.
The identity of this map very different. And here's the rush. Heroic, they're going for a quick break across the top. Now there is Doki maybe trying to get a read here, but there's the hatch and there's the drop inside the hatch. Virtue gets caught out and they're going to see if they can try and find another as Leader goes for the plant itself. Blaz suffers a bit and gets dropped out. There's the kick cold though, a 3 versus 3. The retake, I think that might have been from above. The swing around the top leaves just Doom inside the site. The pulse is feeding all of this and now there is just Doki left. There is one player that's on a sort of even ground to the fight here and it's Astro. He suffers through the spray, but look, you just can't get the last bite of it. They've pulled all the way out, but they've used this time to recollect the diffuser and move it into the other site. They're going to go for the plant on the back end, and Doki goes for the drop. Pre-fires an angle. They're off the plant. They're looking for the angle in the fight, and there it is. Doki, he's retaken the retake onto the site itself. 2 minutes, though, on the clock. All the time.
Could be used as he finds the first drone. Just looking to outplay them now. He needs to outsmart them. There comes the C4. That finds a player as well. And suddenly we find ourselves in a 1v1 situation again.
Swing towards the side of the mirror window. There he is. Punches it out. They know exactly where he is now. Puts a hole on the side. He's going to see if he can spot the player. Just sees the tail end of them and instead gets turned around. Almost massive from Doki there. But Astro, who's had equally massive rounds, is a formidable force to stop. Do or die, risky situation, but 20 seconds. This is when those mistakes start to happen. When they're punished, they are punished. Huge. Virtue wants to swing on the pre-fire. Uno pops up, but the player's on his right. It's a trade out. On the back end, a grenade and a swing round. Alamau gets the shotgun locked onto Leader. There's a fight over the top. Doom pushes Uno out over 3 versus nobody, though, and G2 push themselves onto map point.
Time was ticking down. Heroic needed to make something still function as well as you would otherwise.
So there's the destruction. They just want to make sure that they can swing this without being blinded. And here's the back swing. Gets 1. Oh, gets 2. Blaz moves huge behind it. Astro takes a lot of damage in the pickback G2, but it goes for now at least slightly unpunished, though, with how active everyone's being. There it is, Virtue! Into the bathroom, gets 2 right back and retakes.
Everything is being tossed at them right now from the side of Heroic, who seem to be approaching the bomb side as Uno drops as well.
Well, there's a player down on the side of Doki, the 1 versus 2, but he has to just take the drop and he somehow gets 1, but no! Oh, almost found an unreal play. Really shouldn't have been able to survive the first hatch drop. It's a very well-made piano. As the smoke cover comes, Blaz pushes into one side and Leader goes for the tuck. Just past the smoke, he's safe. And that's a bit of a blow there as they're not quite sure. The C4 goes to the other side of it. As Uno gets Kayak a post plant, though, with Blaz finally finding a kill from above. But they can still try and push out, whether some of the G2 players go for a rotate and a bit of a retake here up Spiral. It seems like there's a bit of motion and movement with 2 players going for the take and the pressure here. Leader is holding on inside. There's Astro watching and waiting for this approach. That is 2 players that are trying to kill Astro, regardless of what the outlines show you. The first is gone. The second is gone too. As Virtue does find Leader inside the site, but with the vertical away from them, it is so tricky now for Uno to try and get in and get any semblance of control. They're watching from 3 different angles, 2 of them above and 1 from the back of Boiler. We are going to overtime.
Yeah, there was no winning there. Almost after that diffuser one down, there's like...
Now this side has been a tricky handle to keep yourself on, but as Doom is inside the core, he's somehow able to get Alamau.
He gets
great shot onto Doki with the second, and I mean, that's the one you watch in slow-mo, and even then it feels a million miles an hour. Brilliant play. But with 30 seconds left, the 4 versus 3 versus 3, Leader's going to see if he can try and get this stuck on the back end. Kayak gets Uno, gets them removed. You've got Virtue trying to sneak his way in. Benja's looking over the top. The plant is just on his shoulder. There's the first fight against the sledge. The second pops up against him. All down to Virtue. Wins out inside the corridor. 40 seconds to find the final player. They know roughly where they were. They've gone on a bit walkabout, though, and Leader locks it in for Heroic. 1 round away from taking 2 points.
Very close round there in the end, though.
Against him.
40 seconds, 9 players still standing. The longest and most we've had at this sort of point. The pings come round. Doki gets leader. The blitz goes on one side and Doki gets one more. Astro, he's able to find a fight. Doesn't quite get stopped by that. Another impact and another impact. Stops the play, but it's only him left and he's forced all the way back into the Carbia CEO. We are going all 15. Him on Soda. On the opposite end of the long corridor, leader's going to rotate his way back round. They don't want to risk it. Uno and Doki still, as I said, have themselves in the back end. That little position he's in, but Doki gets another. And another for Doki. 22 kills on the board. He's angling and tearing. There's at least one more, but a flawless to end. And a huge, huge game from the Flying Scotsman.